Welcome, everybody. We are back. It's the Expendable Show. We have a special edition going on. You guys know how we like to do our special editions. We are going to be interviewing the future Sheriff of Laurel County, your candidate, Rick Coffman. Welcome to the Expendable Show, Rick.
Thank you so much, man. This is going to be a good show. I'm looking forward to it all day long.
I'll tell you what, I'm really, you got me motivated right now because of the start. Your blazer is making me want, like, is it the 4th of July right now? Because that's what I want to do, some 4th of July stuff. Look at that, stars and stripes.
Man, I got to say, I was kind of inspired from Afro Man, who's a freedom fighter for the First Amendment. And I'm kind of fighting for the First Amendment too, but I think this coat looks better on me than Afro Man's.
You know, Afro Man's a big dude. So it does look a little odd on him. So it does look better on you.
What do you think? You like it?
It's awesome.
I'm going to be wearing it on the campaign trail. Next week, I'll be hanging out with William Eversole with my Justice for Doug sign. I'll be everywhere, man. Freedom, baby.
That's awesome. So before we get started, I just want to tell all my viewers, because some of these people are going to watch and that are going to be my normals. Donna wants the jacket.
Wait till they get a load of me.
But I have stumbled upon a treasure trove of information today. My whole day, luckily I didn't have to work a real job today, because all I did was talk on the phone and collect intelligence. And there are things that I now know that could change the way Kentucky is.
What?
Man, it's that big. And I can't get into any details just yet, because I just received all this stuff, and I have to go through it very in depth and in detail. So it's going to be a work in progress, but it's there. And I'll tell you, we are all being watched. I'll give you that hint.
Whoa.
So, Rick, we're here for you. We are here for you. We got the blazer. We've got the interview. We sugar-coated all the questions for you. And
let's go, baby. Showtime.
I actually watch the Sugarcoat podcast sometimes. They do a good job. But
they do a great job. I make fun of them and been calling them Super Sugar Golden Crisp or Super Sugar Coated, just making fun of them. But hey, I get it, man. They're doing so shout out to Paul and Jericho, and they do a great job. You can't just drop bomb after bomb after bomb in an interview and expect to keep getting interviews. So I totally get it, and I will be on their podcast May 15th.
Did you know that they invited me on their podcast at one point, like last year?
No kidding. No, I did not know that.
But I was the bad guy, so we never could get it to work out. So
well, then we have a lot in common, because I'm a bad guy too. I love the name of your show, Expendable, because I kind of feel like Laurel County treated me like I was expendable, you know.
Yeah, I definitely strategically created that name with a lot of thought process involved.
Hey, we should start a group, and you know what? We can call ourselves the Expendables.
Yeah, and we can go up to other countries and blow stuff up.
Well, let's just start with the county level and see what I can blow up there before we go worldwide. I'm gonna blow up some corruption is what I'm gonna do.
See, so let's start. So let's start to get into some of this stuff, because there's a lot of information, and it's my belief that constituents need to make informed decisions. So instead of dancing around, issues and things that are actually problematic in these communities, we'll get right into it and really see what the plan is and see what your thoughts are on things. So let's get right into it. So first,
all right,
let the audience know, who's Rick Coffman? What's Rick Coffman's background?
Well, it just turns out, man, I've kind of been a rock star business guy for the past 30 years. In the 90s and the 2000s, I was in the home remodeling world, and man, I've oversaw numerous offices, trained salespeople, of many 40, 50 salespeople. Imagine that 22 years old trying to train a 45-year-old salesperson, or manage them and stuff. So ever since I was like 19 years old, 20 years old, so I guess I'd be around like 1999. Ever since then, I've been in charge, running stuff, growing stuff, starting stuff that didn't exist. So I've done a lot. I've been nationally trained. People used to fly me all over the country to go to these big seminars to get this in-depth training, sales training, motivational training, learning how to run business training, things like that. So I did that all the way up to 2008. The year when the stock market woo, boom like that. Yeah. I said, hey, this is a perfect year to start a business, right? Yeah. So I started a shirt warehouse, and it actually started in a spare bedroom of a condo with 2 folding tables, and I was holding T-shirts. And then in Kentucky, there's a chain of these flea market malls called Peddler Mall, and there's about 20 of them, and there's like 4 or 5 over Louisville, Georgetown, Richmond. There's one in Somerset. I was in 22 locations. So I print shirts one week, and then I'd go put them in these flea market malls the next week. And then I did that for a few years. Let me tell you, it was pretty easy business because I just had my own employee, and I was still raising my kids at the time. Because when I was raising my kids, I didn't go to concerts, I didn't go off-road, and I was running my business and taking care of my kids even more importantly. But after a few years of that, I wanted to get some big equipment, man, because printing the amount of shirts I was printing down there in the basement where I was watching Jerry Springer in 2009 in my shorts there, just printing shirts, thousands of shirts a week. So eventually I wanted some big boy equipment, to where, shirts are going like 500 shirts per hour and all that stuff. And then once I did that, I got a little shop and did that. I was like, oh, this is expensive to have all this stuff. So I was like, I'm going to have to start doing work for other people. And man, I quickly got in with Maker's Mark, Kentucky Bourbon Trail, worldwide brands like X Large are a big brand out in Macau and China and all that stuff. I used to print like 8,000 shirt orders for them. Nike, and when Louisville won the championship, I printed 13,000 shirts overnight, locker room shirts in all the stores in Louisville and Lexington the very next morning. So I've been kind of a rock star, and I started that with nothing, and I built it into a $2.5 million a year company. And $2.5 million, man, T-shirts. That's a lot of T-shirts. It's not like I'm selling $20,000 jobs. I'm selling $20 T-shirts. So, I'm pretty proud of that fact that I did that. I was in the same location from like 2010 all the way up to 2023 when I moved to Lilly, Kentucky. And when I moved down there, I was creating my dream. I was building. I bought 20 or 15 acres. It already had one building, and then I put a giant 8,000 square foot building on there, moved all my equipment, had my dream property. I was kind of coming down to Laurel County just to retire and smaller staff, just keep the big jobs and not do all the pain to us stuff. Plus I was doing over $1 million a year on Amazon for over 12 years. So that business, I didn't even have to talk to anybody, sell anything. Just the orders come in every day. Christmas time, we're doing $10,000, $20,000 a day for like 3 weeks straight. So I think when it comes to running business, marketing, managing, motivating, I think I got a lot of background experience. So you could say that I've got 30 years of getting ready for this job.
Okay. That's definitely good. I think, especially being a sheriff, you're going to be responsible for the budget. So understanding how a budget works and how you manage the money, that's going to be highly important. I think it's an overrated, or it's an underrated aspect of being the top lawman in the county. So I think that's a good part of it. That's part of it that your constituents should not be concerned about, because you have experience. You've built something out of nothing. I don't know if Laurel County has any kind of budgeting problems or not, but I'm sure if there is and you get elected, you're going to find out.
Well, I kind of see that politicians aren't so careful with other people's money, but I come from a background where it was my money. So I like to keep the budgets in line, wasteful spending, and then you get your budget so out of whack, and you get so many people, then you got to go start targeting the community and arrest people and generate more money to pay for all the extra people you have. Almost like some mayor that just likes to keep adding jobs, and whether he knows how he's going to pay for it or not.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about, but anyway.
Yeah, he's your buddy. He's probably watching on a fake profile right now. Him and old Johnny Boy and Robbie. They're probably all three of our 11 viewers in here right now.
Somebody asked me if I would be willing to help him out and put out yard signs for him.
Well, apparently that's what they think. Putting out yard signs is how you win elections, but the yard signs don't go to the polls. So we'll see how that works out.
So what's? I mean, you're a business guy. what motivates you to be a sheriff? Like, it's not something everybody just wakes up one day and they're like, I think I'm going to run for sheriff today.
Honestly, I don't want to be sheriff. I'm going to be sheriff because I have to do this, because there's nobody else that's going to do it as good as that I can do it, and do it as honestly, moral integrity for the people and all that stuff. But without getting into my whole story of my own injustice, but first I went through my own injustice. I mean, it was bad. I mean, it's a long story. We could talk a whole hour just on that. But then after seeing the unaliving of Doug Harless, okay, so then I got my situation. I'm seeing Doug Harless, and now I'm seeing people speak out. And then after seeing how transparent they're not, and how they're hiding everything, sweeping it, and then there's every day, like today, like I already heard extra stuff of new corruption today before you even were telling me about what you're finding. So it's like every day there's more and more and more and more and more exposed. So I'm sitting there seeing all this, and now I'm sitting on the couch watching a movie one night. I have seen it before, but that's the advantage of being 50 years old, man. You haven't watched a movie in 10 or 15 years. You can just rewatch it. So I'm watching Walking Tall, the movie with The Rock.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sitting there watching that. Now, I didn't get beat all to hell like he did in the movie, although that does happen in Laurel County. Not as much anymore, I think, because of our justice groups. But, man, back when my stuff first happened, almost every other mugshot, people were like eyes swollen shut. They were beat all to heck. But I was beat down financially. And so I took a beating. So I'm an innocent member of society that took a beating, went through all this corruption. I'm sitting there watching this movie. And then, of course, those of you, I'm not spoiler alert. Of course, most people have seen that movie. But he ends up fighting his injustice, and then he runs for sheriff, and then he goes and cleans up the town himself. And then I find out that's based on a true story. Buford Pusser down on Tennessee. He did it in the 70s and all that. And it inspired me to, I don't see it, whether it's old corruption or new corruption, they're not going to clean up corruption. So it's going to take somebody that doesn't know anybody, non-affiliated, to just jump in there and do it for the people. No allegiances to anybody. Just go do what needs to be done. So instead of maybe the 4x4 post, I'll just get a big paddle. I'm just kidding.
That would work too. So, I mean, that's a pretty good motivator. And I think that when you look at, some of the things I've seen from the other candidates and what their, motivations are, it's all the same mumbo jumbo, watered down, same thing every politician says. Like, I'm so sick of politicians. I'm sick of these guys that just say whatever to get you out of their office so they can go back to playing solitaire on their phone. And that type of behavior, that it's enough, especially in law enforcement. When your leadership's not leading, guess what happens? Your officers go rogue, and now you've got all these issues all over your county. So I think that happens a lot. And those are some of the things that, paying attention to is going to be extremely beneficial to you. So with that said, how are you going to maintain the standards of being a sheriff and of your department while not really having any law enforcement experience?
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I may not have law enforcement. I haven't pulled people over, done all that stuff, but I'm almost 50 years old, and I have life experience. I threw myself, and I was on I went through over a 12-year case, family court case, where I was even awarded custody of both my daughters, including my stepdaughter. When do you ever hear of that? So I've got 10 years of sitting in family court, fighting this, social workers, dealing with all this stuff. Now, it wasn't against me. I was the one that was given custody the whole time. So I was the one, so they were protecting my kids and put them with me. So between all that, and then I've had probably about 300 employees work for me over the years. And I've always been real good because they got to go to court. They got this happen. Life happens and people got to handle stuff. And that's one of the things that, when you got to repeatedly go to court all the time, it makes it hard to, for your job to be okay with it. So I've always helped. I've guided people. I've given people attorney money. So, and then also just managing people. So even though I don't have the law experience, I have the experience, running the business, running the show. I'm a quick study. I didn't know how to print T-shirts when I started printing T-shirts, and about 5-6 years later, I was printing $1.5 million a year. And I never done that. I was putting up windows and siding before that. I just didn't want windows and siding. It's like every month you start over with a whole new customer base where I was smart, man. Them T-shirts, my customers order them T-shirts every single month, every year, every quarterly, and all that stuff. I was printing the Dare shirts for Woodford County for the past 12 years. Every kid in the county got one. But so I hope that I kind of answered that. But can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What, in your opinion, what makes a sheriff, or what makes a lawman who's only been on patrol and doing all that stuff all their life? What's that make that? What experience do they have to be put in charge? Budgets, money, managing.
I mean, when you do the reverse of that, a lot of the road deputies do not have a bunch of business experience in budgeting and whatnot. So that would be something they would have to learn on the fly.
Right. Nobody's going to know it all. I'm sure when John Root, I'm sure when any sheriff got in there, that was a whole brand new job. They doing it from experience. I think the two best people to go in to run a sheriff's department would be a business owner, or even better yet, a lawyer, an experienced lawyer that knows law. Would that not make a great sheriff?
I think so. Lawyers generally know what they're talking about, unless you're just a really crappy lawyer. Then you can be a prosecutor.
Well, it's amazing how many, especially in Laurel County, between all three of the law enforcement agencies, how they are hired to protect the law, but they don't know the law. But I'm hoping that when I'm sheriff, hopefully I got some employees, that, well, hopefully I don't have to do it all on my own. I'll have experienced law officers. I have a lot of friends that have messaged me willing to help me, former sheriff deputies and deputies. Hell, I go riding down in Tennessee all the time with about 6 or 7 deputies. That a couple of them volunteered that if I need a couple extra people with 20, 30 years worth of law experience. And guess what? Those cops, what they said we're eating down here in New Mexico, they hate cops. Because what they're referring to is all the corrupt cops that give all the other cops a bad name,
Right. Yeah, I mean, the good cops don't want to be around bad cops, and that's just a fact of the matter. Like they avoid them like the plague. And
yep.
The big thing is resources. So when you're in law enforcement, obviously, the more resources you have available to you, whether it's networking and connections, the better off you're going to be. I would recommend, finding a way, and that leads to my 6th question is, how would you try to build some kind of cooperation with London Police Department and the KSP, which you are going to cross paths. You're not going to be able to avoid it for 20 years as sheriff. You're going to cross paths with both of those agencies. How are you going to navigate that?
Well, the biggest thing is being constitutional sheriff, following the rules of the law, but being professional. Even in all my Justice Warrior stuff, man, people come at me with the nastiest stuff and the weirdest accusations, but you won't see me being unprofessional about it at all anywhere. I've never cussed anybody out or done anything like that, to where if I'm in my job above all else is to be in charge of that top lawman in Laurel County. So of course I would just naturally, I would protect my own jurisdiction, and because I'm going to get every little policy. That's how I learned how to screen print. They actually have manuals that tell you how to do all this stuff. So I'm just going to learn those manuals, and I want to protect my jurisdiction. I want to offer and help. I mean, that's in my nature anyway, to always want to help people. So I want to build a good working relationship, and man, none of that this side versus that side stuff. I'm on the people side, so I don't have certain people that I got to do something for, or other people I'm not going to help because they hurt me. That's not how I would be. So I guess being constitutionally, and not be a big ego thing, like a war. Like, I don't want to take over KSP's police state chase going down the interstate and overshoot it to where they're pulling me over and tasing me and throwing me in jail. I don't want to do that. So I think I could do a better job getting along with KSP than the current one.
Yeah, so I think that's you really kind of nailed that on the head, because you're technically going to be you're the top lawman, but you're also a politician in terms. Now, when you just have to live with the fact that not every constituent is going to like you, and that's just the fact of the matter. Nobody ever wins an election 100% unless you're unopposed, and you still have a chance that somebody may write in somebody. So, it's important to find that niche to get along with the other departments, get along with the constituents, even the ones that don't like you. because your job doesn't stop at party lines. Your job doesn't stop at neighborhoods that don't like you. So I'm glad you brought that to the attention, because I think that's something that Laurel County residents need to hear. We've watched this civil war happen in this county for the last year and a half, and nobody's done anything to stop it. And it's just been
it's been a mess.
And it's amongst the county and the city. John Root could have put his foot down a long time ago and smashed this, and he didn't. And that's just something that I have never seen in all my years in law enforcement. I've never seen a sheriff give up their power to someone else. It's something I've never seen. They have full control over their county. You can't even break wind in the county without the sheriff knowing. And it's
right.
That's just because that is your constituency. That's your playground. So, I think you mapped it out perfect, that no matter who it is, your job is to protect this county. And so I like that. So that's a good answer for me. It's a tough question. Not a lot of people can answer that correctly, or at least I don't want to say it's a correct or incorrect way, but answer it with substance.
One thing's for sure is you ain't never seen a sheriff's gonna sheriff like I am. I think it's a benefit that I don't have the law experience, because man, they like owe each other favors, and they cover for each other, and they do bad things, and that's just not how it works in the real world, in business, or not my real world, not the people that I've worked for. We were always making money and doing business. So like if you screw up so bad like London Police Force did, I would not be promoting those people. I wouldn't be hiring people that have already been fired from 3 other agencies. I would I wouldn't tolerate any of the stuff that goes on. They make a bunch of mistakes. They should be fired. They shouldn't, and held accountable legally. But they should, all those people at LPD getting the clerk and the big jobs and all that stuff. Right.
Now I remember in 2001, I went through the Ohio Police Peace Officer Training Academy in Columbus, Ohio. And I remember towards the end, we were getting ready to get certified, and we were getting ready to take our state test. And the Attorney General came in to our academy, and he mapped it out. He said, "Listen, I know past departments believed in professional courtesy." He said, "But I do not." He said, "If you commit a crime as an officer, I will prosecute you." And that really blew me away when he said that. And so as I went back to my good old boy county, the first thing the sheriff said was, "Everything you learned at the police academy, throw that out the window." And I'm like, well, what did you spend all that money to send me there for then, if you just want me to forget it? Just give me a gun and a badge, and I'll go wild, wild west.
Go make some money.
Yeah. So that stuck with me. That was something that stuck with me, and I ended up, living by that. There's no, just treat your constituents right. Treat the people that I'm out patrolling. There's right and there's wrong, and it's that simple. That's
how it will be with me. I may not put the people's mugshots on the sheriff's page anymore, but I'll tell you what, I would love to make an example. Like if somebody's doesn't have probable cause, or they're shaking somebody down, or even worse, beating somebody up that's already in custody. I guess what? I probably have access to all the body cams to see what's really going on, and I'll put them on Facebook. I will. If somebody beats somebody up after they're in cuffs and stuff, I don't care if it's London Police. If it's in my jurisdiction and I'm aware of a crime that's happening, I'm going to go after it, and I'm going to hold them highly accountable, so I can set an example for the rest that we are not going to do this stuff. We're going to whip out that Constitution and that book of procedures, and that's the only way we're going to do it.
Yeah, the policies and procedures are going to be your biggest weapon. As long as you follow the policies and procedures and know what they are, you'll be all right. So how are you going to, because we know that there's a lot of officers in London, Laurel County, the KSP. A lot of these guys have been doing this for a long time. A lot of them are what I call tumbleweed cops, where they get in trouble in one jurisdiction, then they just tumbleweed over to another jurisdiction until they get in trouble there, then they tumbleweed to another one. how are we going to, what is your plan to avoid allowing your department to become weaponized against the constituents?
Well, I almost got a one-word answer. I'll explain, but a one-word answer for that, and that'd be the Constitution. We're going to follow and the oath. Everybody takes an oath, so it's kind of that Constitution. If we do it like that, it is designed to protect and serve the people rather than go out and hunt and prey on the people. So just do it like it's supposed to be done. As far as getting out to the community, going after, because that was a two-part, right, for the deputies and also the county, the people,
Right.
so that investigate, or I'm sorry, people getting hurt would be my biggest crime, my biggest thing that I want to concentrate on above and everything, whether it be children or women or anybody getting hurt. And then after that, it'd probably be what I call real crime. Real crime would be like drug dealers and thieves and just people that are just like a leech on society, out there doing bad every day. As far as somebody having a little bit of pot in their car or something like that, or, hey, we arrested that guy 2 years over, so we're going to watch him every day for the rest of his life and pull him over every chance we can get.
Right.
And there's going to be a lot of work to be done to rebuild confidence in the community. So it's going to be a pretty big job, but the only way it's going to happen is if we get somebody new in there.
So is community policing something that you would consider?
Absolutely. For one, being new into it, I've learned a long time ago that I always listen to everybody's ideas, opinions, suggestions, and I may not always do everything that everybody mentions or suggests to me. But hey, if I'm going this way 10 times, but 2 or 3 ways, I listen to other people and it gives me ideas to actually go out and do stuff. I'm smart enough to know to listen to all of it. So community policing, definitely want to, get the people's help, get them involved. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's a highly effective. I've been in both different scenarios, and where you community police a lot, or where you don't really community police too much. I always think it's more benefit. I love community policing. I love being in my community, just being there, being visual. People see you there. You're building that relationship, and that's what made me think to ask that question, because you said that you want to try to build that community trust back, and I think that's a very effective way to do that. Is just allow the community to see your policies, to see you, and to see how your officers react to the community out in the community. So that's always a good thing, and not just having a camp where the parents go and everybody hangs out, and you're not really in the community doing stuff like that. So
yeah, holding events for the kids, but you're really meeting and talking with the parents, kind of using the sheriff's office as a campaigning. Yeah, I know about that.
So the next question. So what are your focal points of improving? How can you improve the sheriff's office, if there's anything that you see that you can improve?
Well, and it even goes back to the last question, is just how the policing is done. The biggest changes I want to make is a lot of times we'll remember that Patrick Swayze movie Roadhouse, where they have the scene where he's training them all to be nice. What if your mom is I don't know, but be nice and all that. And there's a really great lesson in that. It's that these people are hired professionals that are choosing to do this for a job. So they're paid to do it. So you can't complain about having to do the job that you signed up to do. And then be nice. I think in my own experience, it was just instant escalation. And then all these cops, like somebody pulled them over on the side of the road. Next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 damn cops behind you. It's not like that anywhere I've ever lived before. So that'd be just how they police, probable cause, de-escalating. I'm very experienced. I think a lot of improvements could be made in how domestic violence calls are handled, because not everybody calling is actually truthful. Now there are, and it's a shame that there are women that will abuse the system to use it as a tool, when there's actually women out there that are actually getting beat and need it. And not everybody's going to tell the truth. A lot of people will call the cops just trying to get in trouble. Just ask Weddle's people. They even had Bonnie arrested. It's ridiculous.
All Bonnie had to do was just start making merch. You could have been making her t-shirts. Trump got elected on the mugshot. Bonnie could be president by now.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, the first year of his first presidency, I was printing Trump shirts on Amazon, and he wasn't doing it for campaigning yet. And when he started doing it for campaigning, I pulled the shirts. But man, I sold like $500,000 worth of shirts on Amazon that said Trump on them.
Yeah, that's a good gig. People will buy anything that says Trump on it.
And I will be printing shirts. We're probably about 60 days out from starting back over how I started in my basement. I started in the condo, but I moved to a basement, and I got a little press and go back to doing it manually and all that. So even though I got my work cut out for me to get up to speed on a lot of law enforcement stuff, I need to get my business going. I have a lot of customers that depend on me. They can't get the quality of work that I did anywhere else. So I got a long list of people to call the moment I can start printing t-shirts. And then I got people that will help me run that business. So once we get it up and going, I can concentrate on the sheriff's office.
Right. That's good. So you're in basically what, a 3 or 4 person race. Kind of talk about, the differences between you and the other candidates.
Okay. Well, I see as the biggest thing that I have to overcome is, I won't talk crap about people that don't do bad stuff. So I don't really have much to say for Jeannie other than that she does a lot of good work exposing, very similar to what I do. But for me, it's going to be about old corruption versus new corruption. And it's got the whole town split. And as far as it being a campaign race, I think that the fact that I got the corrupt vote split, it's almost split in half. You got half town's going to go this way, half town's going to go the other way. So hopefully the people want change, and I can slip in with the silent majority and whoop the heck out of both of them and be in there and make some change.
Yeah, I mean, that comparison, the old corruption versus the new corruption, that's a pretty accurate assessment of what is going on there. And I do think that people should look at that consideration. People should look at the whole spectrum of what's going on. Do you want to continue down the madhouse of
the rabbit hole,
of
the deep rabbit hole?
Or do you want to continue with this old school stuff where it's just outdated and not working anymore? I think
can I mention something about that real quick?
Yeah.
Is the old corruption versus the new corruption? Because as long when me and Bonnie were going after Weddle and all those people, man, there's people, yeah, they love it, but then they turn around and are supporting other corrupt people. And then some people will love like 99 things we do, but then as soon as, hey, somebody's a family member of somebody, you better not post about them. You better not do that. Fair game, baby. If you corrupt, we coming after you. If you're a church campaigning for a guy who's got indictments and all this other stuff and dividing a whole town, then you ain't churching for the right reasons. So I don't care. We're going to call them out. And I will take a lot of people off, but I'm sorry. My job is to the people as a whole. So nobody gets a pass. I don't owe any allegiances to anybody. I don't owe anybody any favors. I don't have any skeletons in my closet where they're going to come out at me or anything like that. Because I've been a good, honest father first and a successful businessman. And that's been my life.
Okay.
Sorry, get a little excited about it.
No. I mean, you should be happy about the way that you've done things. You've seen success. You know what success looks like. And that's big. You should be proud of your success. Now, the people should be excited that you have someone who's experienced a large amount of success, that they can kind of share that success with the people of the community. There's so much of a dark cloud over that county that something with some positive energy and some new ways of doing things would really do a good service to that community.
Absolutely.
So anything else? Let's talk about anything else. Is there any main points that Rick Coffman wants to bring to the table so people need to know?
I got one. How would you like to hear an idea how we're just going to fix all of Laurel County just like that? Sound good?
I like that.
All right, time for change. And I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to the people of Laurel County. I'm going to make a clip of this later. The people of Laurel County, if you're tired of what we're dealing with and you want change, because it's clear that there's time for change, vote me for sheriff, Tracy Hanley for mayor, William Eversaw, who's the most honest guy, and he's 10 times smarter than anybody ever gives him credit for, and he'll work as hard as the rest of us, for the people, Robert Bruner for jailer, take all the incumbents in the powerful positions of the county that have been in there for 16 plus years, wipe them all out, and come in with people, fresh people that want to work together. I mean, I don't have any allegiance with Tracy Hanley or anything, or even Robert Bruner. I just, from what everything I see, those are the candidates that I think would be best for the job. And so I'm not making political deals who I'm going to support. I'm saying this team right here will fix it all. Mayor will take care, Tracy will take care of the town and the police department and all that mess. I'll take care of the county law enforcement. William, he's going to have the toughest job being mayor of the county. And then Bruner, I support him over Mosley, but I want everybody to light him up, tell him to quit posting the pictures. I can stop it from the sheriff's department, but I can't stop them from being publicized. That's up to the jail, and they have the choice to do it. And he was like, well, it could be a lot of hassle handling open records requests. Well, everybody wants to know, but nobody's willing to actually do the open records request. So I say take the damn pictures down, put a little heat on him to do that, and then we clean up the jail, we clean up the county, clean up the city, clean up all law enforcement, man. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. What do y'all think out there?
I definitely agree. Bonnie said keep the current city council members.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless you want the guys on TikTok that are unzipping their pants like they're going to whip their thing out, or people that slander and smear people, or don't you record me? And then I saw another woman that she had an 8-year-old singing, and it coincidentally is a buddy of mine from Arkansas, but she has an 8-year-old singing along to my buddy's song, I got to hide the weed. And she's posting that on social media. You want those people in charge? All they're going to do is be a monkey wrench in the system. The people in city council, I truly, honestly believe they are for trying to do what they're supposed to do, which they're just oversight. They don't actually run the town. They're just a system of checks and balances. The problems have been created because of the people that have been leading for a long time.
Agreed. So I'm actually upset with the city council right now because I sat around all day, Rick, and waited on them to.
Well, they're in here. You can just tell her yourself. They're watching.
They're supposed to give me a script for every show, and I didn't get it for the show. So I'm highly upset with them because I had to wing it. Like I just had to make some questions up real quick. But Bonnie, that's a good point. And that's my big thing. Like some of the Weddles people that actually had legitimate questions for me and treat people kind of civilly. They would bring that to my attention. They would say, well, why don't you ever go after city council? And I had to respond that same way, Bonnie. I said, well, you show me city council committing a crime and I'll go after them. But nobody could show me a crime. They just want to mope and groan about city councils not following the policy. Well, guess what? That's not a crime.
Hey, I get all the same kind of slack, so I can relate and I feel the slack. I'm a good, honest businessman. In business, I never cheated, broke laws. I earned. We went out and sold and earned every dollar. No ill-gotten funds were ever made with my company. And I don't know where I was going with all that. I'm distracted by the comments there, but I don't know. Just got to do it the right way for the right reasons.
Yeah, no, that's what you have to do. Your job is to uphold the law, protect your citizens and your constituents. Anything outside of that isn't worth really talking about. You have a constitution that you abide to, and voters are going to be the people that hold you accountable. So, as long as you stay inside the legal guidelines and do the things that a sheriff is supposed to do, you're going to be in good shape.
Well, I'm going to serve the people and put them first. So that will be new.
Everybody wants shirts.
What's up, Donna? Hey, Bonnie. I know we're going to have to do expendable shirts, but I'll be in business here in about 60 days, man. I can hook you up with some good shirts. I'll print them myself while I'm watching YouTube videos on how to become a sheriff.
You just ask Chat GPT. It'll give you a step-by-step breakdown of how to be a sheriff.
I'd rather watch the YouTube videos on how to be a sheriff. I can fix anything on my side-by-side by watching one of them videos. I'd rather watch it than how they do it.
All right. How do you deal with disciplinary issues in the sheriff's office?
I bet you there's a video on it.
I'll guarantee you can't not find a video about something on there.
No, absolutely. Woo! That wasn't totally sugar coated, man. We hit some hard stuff and real stuff, man. Like, not what's my favorite color, green,
Right. Well, I mean, we don't want to make it too easy. What does anybody learn by easy interviews?
I want to answer the hard questions. I want to tell them what I do. And real quick, while I'm on the subject, is and you get the same slack. Like, you spew hate. No, we spew facts and stuff that's really going on. People should be concerned about it, and they hate it. That's the problem. The only people I know that spew hate are the people that support the corrupt people. They spew hate. They have nothing but AI pictures of me and Bonnie, like sitting in some lawn chairs and all that. Get out of here with all that.
Dang it. Don't get that started, Donna. Listen, you wouldn't believe the amount of jobs. I keep track. I got a little note card that I keep track. I have been told to run for governor of Kentucky 72 times now. So I might get, like, if I run for governor of Kentucky, I get 72 votes.
Hey, come help me run the law department, and we'll go fix Laurel County, and then maybe 4 years from now, we'll go fix Kentucky. And then, hey, maybe 4 years from now, we'll just go ahead and take care of the whole shebang.
I'll tell you what, they would have a rough time, because I am a stickler for by the book.
Well, I hope that you'll be mentoring me. You have years of law experience and stuff, so I hope that I can call you up, bounce things off you, and I love, like, not one person is going to know it all and rule like a dictator. This is the United States of America, so takes an army.
I mean, you're going to run into stuff that you're going to go, whoa, that's different. I wonder if anybody else has run into this type of thing. You're going to.
I value people's
resources.
Yes, and I value people's opinion. I welcome the community. I think I'm going to try to, say hypothetically, in a week at the sheriff's office, man, Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning is probably when I'll be arising in there. I don't care what time they open. I'll be getting my day going. Then I'm going to make sure the whole entire sheriff's department is up and going by lunchtime. Come back from lunch. That's when I'll make my appointments and be open to the general public from noon to 5. If I got any place to run around and stuff, you won't see me running around in the morning unless it's the only time I got to do it. So I will be there. I'll be running the show just like I did my merch business. I am not just punching in 40 hours and going. When I built my empire, I did it by working from the time I opened my eyes to the time I closed my eyes, and I will do the sheriff's office the same way.
I mean, that's a good start. Yeah. So
vote for Rick Coffman, number 3 on the ballot, baby.
I was just about to tell you, go ahead and give us a closing spiel and really bring. I mean, you got a red, white, and blue blazer on. You got to just bring it.
America, baby, America. I'm also, just so you know, I'm like the people, man. Just because I was extremely successsul, that success never went to my head, man. I don't care if you got a bunch of money, if you got no money, it makes no difference in my opinion of you. And so I got rich friends. It almost sounds like one of my buddy's songs. I got friends in high places, friends in low places, and I get along with everybody. And I'm overall I'm a people pleaser, and I just want everybody to be taken care of. I want everybody to get along, and just want to move forward. And now that I've had narcissist training, I'm better prepared to do this job. Got my degree on Facebook, narcissism.
Yeah, I seen that. Well,
I help a lot of people. That's what I do. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish. It's your interview.
I was just saying, just another example. People can check it out. Not only a justice warrior where I fight for justice, and I don't fight for me. I talk to hundreds of people, if not over 1,000 stories of injustices very similar like mine that have happened. And, so I have a group called Narcissist Abuse. And like literally the other day, I was talking to somebody up in Canada. Last week, it was somebody in Australia or something that when they come to my narcissistic group and start seeing these memes and stuff I post, I know a lot of people roll their eyes and they're like, oh, it's like driving by a car wreck. They don't want to look, but they don't say anything. But I help people with that group. Those memes mean something to people that are going through the worst time of their lives and victims of narcissist abuse. Nobody's there for them. The people have already set everything up to isolate, smear campaign, gaslight, do all that stuff. And so, man, I count, even with the sheriff race and all that, I'm still in those groups. I have more fun groups. One of my brands with my t-shirt company was Extreme Mudding. I got a group with about 30,000 people in it, and a page with like 30,000. To where I like to off-road, man. I'm red-blooded American, man. I like to shoot guns, go ride side by sides, sing karaoke at the bonfire on Saturday nights, hanging out with friends and family and all that stuff. So we do the off-roading. And then my favorite group that just started not too long ago, it blew up. It's over 50, 60,000 people now, is Don't You Like It Better in the 80s? I have a little group from, looking back to the 80s when everything's better. So, and that's what I like to do. I'm going to rewind the law enforcement back to the 80s when people actually had trust in law enforcement, where we weren't ready to just go bust everybody. Sometimes they would just like, damn it, why'd you do that? Hurry up, get home, or I'm going to call your mom or something like that, rather than let's charge them with 35 things and give them 15 court dates for the next year and a half until they agree to whatever it is, just as long as we get our court money.
Right.
Yeah,
Then recycled through then they've recycled through the long-standing history of generating poverty. Congratulations, you've kept the person in the court system until they're bankrupt.
Yep, and then grandparents and aunts and uncles are raising everybody's kids. It's just ridiculous. Yep. So, but my closing statement before you close out is, if y'all want change, I gave you my big old pitch what to do it. If you want change with the law enforcement, if you want honest, constitutional sheriff, I'm number 3 on the ballot. Vote for me. Close her out, baby.
And also, before we go, vote for Donna House. She's lucky number 13 on the ballot. And vote for Rick Coffman. And support Donna. She's taking a lot of bullets for everybody.
I love her sense of humor. She's like, she takes all this she gets nasty crap like me and Bonnie does. And she takes it with a grain of salt and puts that good spin on it of humor. Meanwhile, they're all getting triggered over there. Like, oh my God, Donna did some work at her house or something. Oh, let's forget about the whole police department's killing people. But anyway,
and rest in peace, Snowball.
Oh, rest in peace. Pour one out for Snowball. I had a great time tonight, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to post this on Facebook in about 10 minutes so everybody on Facebook can see it, because you're a YouTuber, and YouTube and Facebook don't seem to get along very well. So you have all this content. You need to get back over on Facebook, but I'm going to go post your video anyway. And we're going to get this message out there to a lot of people. Everybody, I'm doing another closing there. Be sure to tell your friends and your family that there's an option for you. Because, man, with the silent majority, boom, I'll win just like nobody thought Trump would win. I'll be like that.
All right, so that's the end of the show. Thanks, Rick, for coming on. It was awesome. And good luck in your campaign. We're out. Peace.
Peace. Are we still there?